Let's talk about practice. More and more parents, and to my surprise, quite a lot of children at various ages, have asked me recently if I've got strategies for them for practice. Parents asked how I can help the children, and children ask me how can they spend their time at the piano with the most efficient ethic of work. That led me to understand that, or to be reminded, I would say, because I think we teachers understood a long time, quite early in the stages of teaching, that the thing that we are needing the most is to show our students how to practice at home. So go home and practice that is actually a very general, vague, disrespectful thing to say to any student at any age. We need to show the student in the lesson how the practice or the work or the repetition or the way of listening is being done by demonstrating it and by doing it and by sending the child home to be able to do it. And in Suzuki approach, when we have the parents in the lesson, our job as teachers is to show the parent how to initiate it or coach it if the child is young, and or to explain to the parent how it works if the child is taking ownership on the practice. So it's very important, as from a point of view of a teacher, to be able to pass on the clarity for what is practiced, why is it practiced this way, and maybe even find other alternatives to make it a bit more exciting and interesting at home. We need to show it to both participants, to the teacher, to the child, the student, and to their parent. So why is practice such a challenging, or I would say a growing challenge today? Aren't we all prepared and aware of the fact that no skill can be developed and acquired without practice? Yes, we do. Don't we all know that everything that needs to be achieved will be achieved through spending time, daily time? Yes, it's all actually quite understandable. So why is it that it's even bigger challenge nowadays? I wouldn't say that children in previous generation loved practice. As Dr. Kataoka used to say, no child loves practicing, but all children love playing. But I find that today, being a teacher for many, many years now, I find that today it's becoming even more challenging for families to establish good practice habits. So we will talk about it in length in one of our coming webinars for teachers and for parents, but I'd like just to give you some appetizers, to give you some bolts of what we are going actually to touch in the webinar. The reasons are many, but I will actually maybe just line a few of them, maybe the most obvious one or the most potent one. First of all, busyness. Nowadays, we all are very busy. I shouldn't say all, I say most of us. In the process of learning, teachers are busy, parents are busy, and therefore the children are busy. Another thing is nowadays we live in a society that gets very instant gratification. You press a button and you get a whole gamut of cappuccino, latte, black, long black, short black, and so on. You don't even have to work for this. Another point is we live in a society which is pain avoidant. We do everything in order not to feel pain. And I'm talking about physical pain, emotional pain. We just run away from pain. And when I say pain, I look at a very wide spectrum of pain. We'll do anything but suffer or go or try to transfer pain by going into the pain. We'll just run away from it. And hand in hand with this, as I'm talking, a beautiful bird is landing on the tree here. Pain, bird, interesting. I'll think of it later. Hand in hand with the avoidance of pain comes the needing to be happy. We think that if we're not happy or if we have unhappy moments, something must be wrong with us. In practicing, there are quite a lot of hardships. There will be lots of frustrating moments when a student tries to do something and he or she is not successful. There'll be lots of tears in practice. Now, I'm not saying just them, but they will be there. There will be the feeling that I'm working very, very hard and I'm still not getting it. But I could do it so well at home. How come I can't do it now? So all of these are being translated in the brain as a failure, as I must be doing something wrong if I don't get results straight away, like the cappuccino or the latte, or if I'm actually not enjoying every moment of the process, but I'm suffering and going through pain. Another thing is that we're becoming more and more of a society that goes, instead of from inside out, we just go out, 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 and sometimes very, very little inside. We live and thrive on likes, on social media, on beautiful photos, on selfies, on pretending and putting a front of we're always happy, very successful, dressed up beautifully, weighing the perfect weight and so on, having this perfect skin and so on. So looking around and looking outside, you don't really see people talking about their hardship for the hardship to get success. They will talk about the success. It's a game, it's a part of the whole philosophy and dynamic of our culture. So that's another reason. What we're going to build the topic around and towards will be how we can reclaim the need for sanctuary. How can we reclaim the need of going within? How can we reclaim the need of quiet time? And when I say quiet time, I don't mean iPad time or computer time, even though you might have a quiet environment when you have the computer on. Quiet time, I mean like going deep into your heart, your soul, your mind, and achieving this level of intimacy with the self, with yourself, with this part of the self that is connected to something which is bigger than you. And we'll talk more about it in our coming webinar. Hope you enjoy the appetizers, and if you've got any questions, please do not hesitate to send a note on Facebook page, Zohara Rotem Facebook page, or on my website, zohararotem.com, or in YouTube, in my YouTube channel. Bye for now.